This is Smoking Out the Closet. Now, here are your hosts, Alex and Rayven Greer.
Hey, it's Rayven. I wanted to announce 2 new affiliate programs that Smoking Out the Closet is now a part of. First, I would like to announce a Pittsburgh local company, The Hemp Co., with 2 E's in The. They offer hemp-derived products including Delta 8 and Delta 9 gummies, vape cartridges, and pre-rolls, HHC vape cartridges, and sustainably used devices and products. All products are made with hemp bioplastic for all your cannabis device needs. And every product is third-party lab tested, DEA certified, and Farm Bill compliant. If you're looking to visit them in person, you can visit them at 20280 Route 19, Number 3, Cranberry Township, Pennsylvania, 16066, or online at theehempco.com. Be sure to use SOTC20 at checkout for 20% off on us. And we're also wildly excited about our partnership with Blazy Susan. They offer their iconic Blazy Susan rolling tray, as well as papers and cones in unbleached hemp, their famous pink, and their brand new purple colors. Follow our affiliate link in the show notes and use Blazy10, BLAZY10, for 10% off on checkout. Now, on with the episode. Hi, I'm Rayven. I use she, her pronouns.
Hi, I'm Alex. I use they, them pronouns.
And welcome back to another episode of
Smoking Out the Closet.
For those of you who are new or just joining us, we are a queer podcast that talks about cannabis, the LGBT community, and everything in between and beyond, including squeaky chairs.
Your hat's askew.
Oh no, is it askew?
It is.
Wow.
It's
It
real.
is very askew. And I askew the questions.
Oh my goodness. So, do we want to talk about what we are using today?
Yes. So I got this because it was on sale. So I got Saavy's Oreoz because specifically that's a really one of the more famous strains out there. And it was my turn this week to pick the strain, so I did this one. Plus it was on sale. It comes in a little like bag, which is kind of weird. Like I feel
It
like
feels like a cat treat bag.
yeah, and a lot of the market's starting to go for that, which is kind of weird for a medical state.
Yeah, because Strain has had those, and then like, who else is turning to those?
Cresco for their vape
Cresco.
cartridges are in little baggies now.
Little baggies, yeah. Double Bear has little baggies for their vape carts.
Yeah. They always had that for their vape carts, as
They
far as I
have.
know.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's got 0.237% THC, 22.271 THCA. The next highest cannabinoid is CBGA at 0.440. Then top 3 terpenes, it's got 1.82 total terpenes in it. 0.502 is limonene, 0.439 is beta myrcene, followed by 0.397 beta caryophyllene. So I mean, it's not a bad strain. It's just, it's okay. It's not a go. It might not be a go-to from this grower. Now, if someone else had Oreos,
Yeah,
give it a shot.
It's at the end of the day, it's Verano flower.
Yeah, because
And
that
I
is on.
just don't usually buy Verano flower unless it's on sale for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Saavy because it's like, oh, Verano smalls, you weren't getting enough because it wasn't getting you lifted enough, so they just give you a bigger bag now.
Yeah, so for those of you who aren't sure, like, how, because, like, grower processor, or I'll back up, okay, real quick. So Verano flower is owned by Verano Holdings, who had Agri-Kind flower in the state. They bought the rights to it and everything. But they recently stopped selling Agri-Kind stuff and started taking everything to Verano and Saavy, which is like their cheap brand, basically like their Kirkland's or Great Value brand weed. Usually it's in smalls, but they only sell it in quarters and half ounces.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, dude, that's a lot of weed.
It is a lot of weed.
But they're also like selling like full ass ounces now too. Like you
Oh,
could do not in one bag, but you could do. They have a combination sale
okay.
where it's like a full ounce, any mix match way you want to do it for like 195. I've seen on the menu.
I think I did see that.
It is weird to think about it. Cresco's selling ounces now and bundles.
Yeah, Cresco Supplies fucking have you seen their quarters?
Yeah.
Supplies quarters. Their tubs are fucking huge. Their half ounces are ginormous.
No, yeah, they're like
They're
almost like
neat
organic
looking.
remedies, like quarters.
But I just want one of the containers. If anybody listening here has had one of those entire like halves of supply, please just send me the container. I just want the container.
Because like here's the thing too is like supplies are selling like eights now too under their line. It's few and far between, but
there are some supply aids.
But like it's really weird. Like Terrapin not too long ago started selling quarters of like they say it's ground, but I would consider more shake / small buds. Like it's pretty much like half ground, half small buds.
Yeah. I like Terrapin shake stuff. I still have some of their CIC shake. It's nice.
It's pretty good. I do really like it. What?
Just looking at you.
I'm trying not to get the sound of the bottle cap on the mic.
I know. I just think it's funny.
What would you rate this?
I thought we said a 3.
You said a 3?
I thought we already said a there is that off mic.
That was off mic.
I'm sorry. I'm a little stoned. Just not. I don't know. Yeah, just a 3. I'm kind of disappointed with it.
Okay.
I'm not. I smoked that entire joint and did not feel a whole heck of a lot other than sticky. This is very sticky.
I will say I'll give it a 3.4 mostly because of that, because I feel like this would be a good strain to, or especially like because of how much you can get out of it for how cheap.
Mm-hmm.
This would be great for pressing your own concentrates.
Yeah.
Because it felt dry, but when I was grinding it, I could feel my fingers get sticky.
Your fingers were still sticky when we were outside smoking.
And my lips were sticky.
We kissed after we came inside and we stuck together.
For like 2 milliseconds.
Yeah, our lips were stuck together because of our smoking our joints and it was sticky from the flower.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be great because like you don't have to worry about yield effectiveness and everything as much. You can kind of just let it go. Mm-hmm. It'd be great for trial runs to get an ounce like that and learn. But yeah, I mean, I am feeling less pain in my ankle, which is part of the reason why I needed to medicate.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling very high. But I mean, between not really having a flavor, being super sticky for just use and everything, I feel like it'd be definitely better. I think if you're just using it as straight flour, you're hitting it. You're not with this strain. While it's really sticky and I do like it, I feel like it would be better as making it into concentrate.
Definitely.
So that put it back, but it's a very small high, very short lived.
Not very up there, kind of.
Yeah,
more...
it's more just kind of like an ease. Like I'm almost like a third from sober.
Yeah,
like I'm like 2/3 sober, basically.
Yeah,
and we had our sesh like what 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, if that.
It's a very short lived. Like it'd be great for like a work high, but I don't think. I mean, between being really dry and then super sticky, I'm a little concerned.
It was a weird cure on that.
Yeah, so I mean, I feel like 3.4, middle of the road and everything's it's pretty okay flour.
Yeah, I just don't see myself buying it because, like, I don't know, I feel like I'm a little bit more stingy with my flour money, and I like to be like, something that I know is going to be worth it. Or something that looks like it's going to be worth it. But like from past experience, I haven't had that great of an experience with Verano. So I wouldn't have bought this in the first place. I'm glad you did so I could try some of the Saavy stuff. But I don't think I would have bought it.
I will say, I feel like Verano very excels with like vapes.
Yeah, their vapes are good. I mean, the Saavy vape we had was pretty nice.
Yeah, the Sunshine OG.
And the Essential for Is that what they're called? The cheap guys, the Essence. That's what they're called.
The Essence.
For the Essence, for how cheap they are, they're good. But I just missed opportunity whenever they bought Agrikind to take that liquid sugar cart because those were so good.
I mean, full price for this, $75.
Yeah.
For full price. And I got it on sale. So, I mean, I'm not too bummed out about it, but I think because the high is very short, it's very much like it now that I'm against Saavy and saying Savy's bad in general, this flower was kind of disappointing because I'm pretty much sober now. 20 minutes after I had a session.
Yeah.
Which is fine if that's what you're looking for, but I'm worried if my high's off this fast, how long is it going to take till my ankle starts hurting again?
Yeah.
So I'm saying 3.4. But I would try to make this concentrate. I might see if one of my coworkers will let me use his press thingy that he got.
Heck yeah.
So, do you have any topics you wanted to bring up today? Anything pressing?
Pressing. I see what you did there.
I
don't think so.
I gotta take off these weird ass socks you let me borrow.
For context, they're reading socks you'd get from Barnes & Noble. They have really thick, Sherpa in the inside, and they have a nice knit on the outside because we were outside and Raven's feet were cold, and I let her borrow my socks.
And I don't like them.
No.
I know how dogs feel now when you put those little boot things on. They can't walk right. They feel weird. I don't like it. What? Are you going to say the thing you were saying earlier? Tell me you're saying you're neurodivergent without telling me you're neurodivergent?
Yeah.
I'd rather pawn squish than that.
Nope.
Well, I had some topics because I had a very slow and boring day this week in admissions. So this list may not be a full and complete list. I'm still doing a lot of research and everything on this. But as of right now, these are all the companies that I know and discovered that are against Homegrown, with a couple caveats. There's a merger for one, and I will bring that up, that it's all in certain states. And the company, I'm not sure which way it's merging. And the one company hasn't said anything with Homegrown. So, do with this information what you will. Cannabis companies that are against Homegrown, specifically MSOs, and their brands / dispensaries. So first one we have is that one I was talking about with the merger. We have Columbia Care and Cresco Labs. They are slowly merging. I think Cresco is buying Columbia Care, from my understanding. They've merged in Maryland, West Virginia, I think California, and Arizona. And it might be more Illinois for one. Maybe Illinois too. But Cresco, I think, is buying out Columbia Care. So Columbia Care, I'm going to say both Columbia Care and Cresco Labs brands. So with Cresco, you have Cresco and Supply.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically it. For Columbia Care, you have Classics, 777, Amber Press, Seed and Strain, Heady, G-Leaf, and Tyson 2.0 in some states. Definitely know it's in Pennsylvania, but apparently they said they had it in Maryland, I think, too.
Yeah, that
Maybe.
sounds right.
Then you have Etain. It's Etain. Etain?
Etain, I think.
Or Etain Health, because they're kind of wellness brand. I think their dispensaries are called Etain Health. All their strains are literally Etain Wellness, Etain this, Etain that. I'm like, okay, cool, because I think they're all just infused products.
Okay.
PharmaCann, who sells Matter and has the dispensaries Verilife and Live Well. This one's gonna hurt for some of the people that I know really like this company. Acreage Holding, who has the Botanist strain, Superflux, and Prime Wellness.
Oh.
Or just Prime, because I think it's Prime AC in some other states, like
Mhm.
New Hampshire or something like that, I saw. But Prime is under Acreage Holding, and Acreage Holding is against Homegrown.
That's unfortunate.
Vareo Health, which has High Color, Kings and Queens, 1937, and Amplify. Big fucking shocker on this one. True Leaf, which has Alchemy Avenue Colors, but it's spelled CO, the number 2, LORS.
The fuck?
Yeah. And I thought it might have been Colors too from the logo, but then looking at their website, it literally spells it that way. I'm like, okay, that's dumb. The Cultivar collection, Lovely, Modern Flower, Momenta, Muse, Pure Pen, Moxie, Roll One, Sweet Talk, Trekkers, and they have Sleevo dispensaries. That was a mouthful on that one. But wait, there's also more. Then we have Mad Men, who have Mad Men dispensaries, and Lux Light is their brand.
Interesting.
So these are all the major companies who are against Homegrown. Do you have any idea why they would be against Homegrown?
Probably because they think it's going to take money out of their pocket.
That's the biggest one, yeah. So a lot of these MSOs want to control the entire market. They see dollar signs and they want to basically become like the whole snack industry, where it's like 4 or 5 companies at most controlling fucking everything.
Mm.
So they don't want competition. If they could have like the less competitors to them, the better. So they don't want any big rivals or anything like that. So in a lot of cases, they don't want home grow because they think patients are not going to go to them. They're just going to grow at home and share with their friends. Because they think it's going to eat into their profits. That is the dumbest fucking thought process I've ever fucking heard. Do you have any idea how long it takes for cannabis to grow? Like 2 months. If you're lucky to get it that early.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a fucking while. Also, it is like one of the most finicky fucking plants there is. Next to probably tomatoes, which are a bit easier, but still.
And if you don't fuck up your grow, you might fuck up your cure, so then you don't have anything to show for your grow.
Exactly. Like Cool Nerd Weed Shout, TS and Sasha, they did that. And they were talking about, like, they probably thought the cure was bad. And they were saying it's boof. They grew boof. But it was already, they bought a seed that was already ready to go. They bought seeds, basically, in California. If you're worried about people eating into your profit margins, sell the clones. Sell the seeds. Like, they do that in Massachusetts, and Kim River was like, no, we support home grow because we do it in this state. You mean the state that already put in home grow in their legislation before you can lobby against it?
You're not in support of it if you're just following the fucking law.
Exactly. Like, their company, Truly, especially in Mad Men, have lobbied the most against home grow. Like, with the laws. A lot of this group is also a part of a coalition that was against when New York was going wrecked, lobbied against home grow in New York, lobbied against home grow in many different states. Like, I was gonna say numerous, but I mean pretty much all of them. And then you have them like, well, we donated to this guy who's gonna, get it legal in this state. Yeah, $5 fucking. You donated $5 fucking to a campaign trail, which I'm glad it was fucking what's his face? He's our senator now. John Fetterman.
Yeah.
They've truly donated $5 to John Fetterman just to be like, oh, we donated to Fetterman in his legalization. I'm like, well, what about this donation to this guy who's to Senator Sands sheriff or whatever his fucking name is, who's against Homegrown.
Yeah, and how much did they donate to him?
I can't fucking remember. It was definitely over $100.
Too fucking much.
There was at least 2 zeros. We're like, man, like, why are you gonna be against Homegrown? Okay, think about it this way: if anyone's gonna grow their own cannabis, right?
Mhm.
I'll use me and my brother as an example. Me and my brother have both made mead. You don't think we're gonna go out and get a beer or something while we're letting that thing ferment?
Yeah. That's like, oh, if you let people make their own alcohol, you're going to destroy the alcohol companies because people aren't going to go get alcohol.
You have an idea how finicky alcohol making is? It's a pain in the ass. That's why I don't do it that often.
It's one of those things that, yeah, you could make it yourself and say you made it yourself and it's cool, but it's sometimes easier just to go get it.
Yeah. Sometimes it's cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
But like that's the thing too. Like that's so just being against homegrown is so stupid because think about it this way. You have some I don't know, some like 70-year-old grandma, we'll call her like Mimi Joe. What?
No.
Being Southern, shut up. Let's call her Mimi Joe, alright? And Mimi Joe likes gardening and likes using cannabis. It helps her with her aches, pains, it kind of helps her sleep at night, you know?
Mm-hmm.
She has a little garden that she grows tomatoes, grows different plants and everything. She loves the garden. She's still gonna buy her cannabis while she's growing her own flower. Guess what? That one plant's not gonna provide enough yield or anything for you to continue and grow. To get to the point where you need to grow your own cannabis to not depend on a shop or to get anything, you need, I don't know, half an acre to grow constantly.
Wow.
That's a spitball guess.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I haven't done the calculations or anything. Don't take that as truth. That's just a spitball idea. But basically, Mimi Joe's gonna need more time, effort, and land or resources, everything to grow enough to not to just go and say, "Hey, I'm gonna buy this from a store." Now, is it going to help her cut back on the store buying? Sure. But it's not the end all be all. Do I wish Mimi Jo could grow all her own and do enough to actually she's growing enough for herself? Sure. But also, not everyone's going to want to do that. You know? We live in a day age where people don't have the time, they don't have the resources, they don't have the funds, they don't have the knowledge. By the way, if you want to learn how to grow cannabis, shout out to Danny Danko. Go listen to the Grow Bud Yourself podcast. That's a really cool show. When we can grow in this state, or when I'm ballsy enough, I'm gonna grow, and I'm gonna listen to that podcast while I'm growing it.
I would love to be able to grow.
Right? It's so fucking stupid to be
against
like
the whole fucking like. You don't tell people, oh, you're not allowed to like fucking grow your own tomatoes or cauliflower. You have to buy it from the store. Like, you go back to Mimi Joe. Do you think Mimi Joe doesn't go to the grocery store while she's waiting for her onions to grow?
Right?
Like, that same thing.
It's really fucking stupid. Like, I totally lost the page I was using as a reference. Sorry, but like it's dumb. It is so dumb to be against homegrown because you're basically telling everybody you're like, we're here for cannabis freedom. We're here for everyone to get out of jail and everything. And I'm like, well, if you're against homegrown, you're actually putting more people back in jail for having cannabis.
Yeah.
If you're against homegrown, you're basically telling us that you're not for us to have freedom with cannabis. You're here for you to have freedom with cannabis.
You're here for people to make money off of it.
Exactly, and exploit everyone that they can.
Mm-hmm.
Which, Oh, big shocker. That's not like how most of the capitalists do in this world.
Right.
And like, fucking hate Reaganomics.
I have a kitty.
You do have a kitty. Well, yeah, let's take Mad Men, for example, right? They have like 3 dispensaries. And they're in the top. They were one of the ones, I think they were number 5 or 4 in the highest grossing CEOs in the cannabis industry when we talked about that on that episode.
Mm-hmm.
They have 3 dispensaries.
What the fuck?
1 in California. Actually, I think they have 4. I think they have 2 in California, 1 in Las Vegas, and 1 in New York. And that's New York City, not state. It's like right dab in New York City. 4 dispensaries. And they're like in the top 5 highest grossing CEOs.
That's ridiculous.
It is. Do you want to know why though? If you look at the like, I was shown a tour of the like selling facility, Planet 13, which I think is owned by Mad Men.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm gonna fact check myself on that one live while I'm talking about this. But Planet 13 is not just a dispensary; it's a fucking tourist attraction. Because like it's so big, but you can literally get like food there, clothes there. There was a fucking Volkswagen bus that you could actually take selfies in and everything. It's basically like a Buc-ee's. Who owns Planet 13? Oh, I'm sorry. No, Planet 13 is its own company. Okay. Well, okay. Even still. Wow, I feel really dumb now. I wanted to fact check myself on that one because I didn't know I was, and even I'm fallible and I screw up. But like, think about it that way though. Like, Mad Men do have that kind of respect and everything of just treat it like it's more retail. They treat it like retail.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of these companies treat it like retail. They don't treat it like, oh, we're helping people. They don't treat it like we're doing this. Take the dispensary. I'm not going to say their name. Should I say their name? I don't work for them.
No, don't say their name.
Okay. Well, this other dispensary that is close to us where we live, all the reviews online and every time we get a patient coming into mine saying they're basically just pushing them out as fast as they can. Mm-hmm. It's like a McDonald's drive-through. You want to keep your times and you want to keep high amount of customers at low amount of time per customer. And that's not the way it should be.
No.
Do you have anything to add on the home grow side on it?
I want to grow my own plants. Everybody just let it happen. Like, stop being so fucking greedy. You're gonna get your money eventually.
Yeah.
Like, if you were smart, if these companies were actually smart about this, they, like you said, they'd be selling the seeds, they'd be selling the clones, they'd be selling the fertilizers and the shit that they think works best with their seeds, and like they would be making money off of this too. But it's fucking dumb. That just fucking greed.
It's a lot of the world's problems.
Yeah, it's just fucking greed.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Mad Men does have dispensaries in Las Vegas. They actually have 2 in Las Vegas. But yeah, it still looks like a freaking tourist attraction. Like, look at that.
It really is.
Like, it's still like, it's like a fucking iPhone store.
Mm-hmm. It's a fucking tourist attraction.
Like, because it's. I wouldn't even say it's like tourist-y in itself. It's definitely catering to tourists because they know, oh, I know this name because the TV show, and some people think that's acquainted with it, which it's not. I've had people actually tell me that they think it was related to the TV show, but like, think about it this way: it's in the heart of the the strip area of Las Vegas. It's super close to like the fancy resorts and the fancy restaurants. It sticks out like a sore thumb on purpose like that because it's catering to the tourists in the area. And that's what I mean, and that's what I'm guessing you're referring to as being it's a tourist attraction.
Yeah.
And because it's very much of like you go down to Disney World, right, in Florida. You have those shops that cater to like they have like last year's Disney outfits and everything about like a third of the price. There's like very specific shops near Disney World that you can only get either Disney World or its home location or it's very select areas and big cities they're in. There's like the big dog t-shirts, right? Or like every fucking dad wants one of those big dog t-shirts with the St. Bernards on there. I don't know why. My dad had a bunch of those t-shirts. But it's things like that, right?
Yeah.
And it's stupid. It's cannabis. Like, why can't we just treat it like what it is and just, hey, it's a plant. Like, I want to go to like fucking a Tractor Supply and grow and buy cannabis plants. It's probably going to be like shit for the seeds. But still, you
go
know,
to Tractor Supply and get your fucking cannabis seeds.
that's what I want. We're in that time for the break.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll take a break and come back to past us with ads. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll be back after a few messages from us.
Hey there, it's Alex from Smoking Out the Closet. We've been so glad to be able to make this podcast for you. And we now have some partners who are happy to help make this podcast happen as well. Our friends over at Da Vinci Vapors have sent us one of their many amazing products, the IQC Dry Herb Vaporizer. If you've been listening to the podcast for a while, you've heard us talk about Da Vinci, and we've even used the IQC on the show. With a half-gram dry herb chamber, 30-second heat up time, precision temperature control, removable and rechargeable 18650 battery, and an on time of 2 hours, what's not to love about the Da Vinci IQC? Well, what if we told you you can get an extra 15% off just for listening to this podcast? That's right. Use the code SOTC15 for 15% off at checkout site-wide. Thanks again to our friends over at Da Vinci Vapors. And now, back to the episode.
Okay, and we are back. God, that sneezing fit really done a number on my nose.
That sounded violent.
Oh, do you want to talk about what you were chewing on the break?
Oh, yeah. Lacey Susan sent us some
In a care package, we got
In a
some
care package, yeah.
pina colada CBD gummies.
Thank you. I couldn't think of the fucking word. The coconutty things. Yeah. Pina colada gummies, CBD gummies. They're 25 milligrams a pop. I took 2 of them. I had some of the tincture earlier. I finally got to try that, the creamsicle tincture.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty good.
I'm holding off on the CBD gummies mostly just because I think they use an artificial sweetener in it.
I have no idea.
I can't remember. But also, the last time I've had sugar and any level of cannabinoid, that was a bad time. So.
Yeah, you just no. They're okay. They just have a weird aftertaste. And I keep forgetting they're there, and I probably should eat them.
Yeah.
The tincture, however, is good. It doesn't have a weird aftertaste to it. But I took 25 milligrams of the tincture earlier and was like, eh.
Yeah.
So I upped it.
I mean, definitely like try the Susan's own stuff yourself.
Yeah.
We're gonna, well, mostly you are gonna try it periodically and see how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like this will be more quick, so I'm going to do this one first. So recently, Pink Floyd released or changed their Facebook profile picture and released an art logo thing. It was a graphic design for their logo. This year is the 50th anniversary release date of Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon.
Hell yeah.
Which kind of, before I go further, this is weird because Disney World's 50th anniversary is also this year. So Dark Side of the Moon is as old as Disney World.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts.
Right? But they released the logo and they basically took like a 50 and put the prism, like the rainbow that's coming through the prism in the circle. You know, I'm actually gonna look it up so I can describe it better. But it's just stupid because like so you have a triangle for the prism, and then you have 50 in it, and then inside the circle is a rainbow.
And people were losing their shit over this,
saying that Pink Floyd has gone woke. Like,
have you not looked at the front of the Dark Side of the Moon album? Ever.
These are probably the same people who gatekeep music in general, being
like,
"Oh, you have a Pink Floyd shirt? Tell me one song off the Dark Side of the Moon album, or tell me a song from them, and don't do anything that's been on the radio. I don't need that."
Tell me 3 of their albums, and one can't be Another Brick in the Wall or Dark Side of the Moon. Go,
dude. I don't know fucking albums. I just listen to music.
Yeah, it's those kind of people. Like, fuck it.
Do you know the only... Okay, before we get back to the topic, do you know there's only one band I actually know at least 3 album names of, ever?
What's that?
Linkin Park.
Yeah.
And that's Meteora, Hybrid Theory, and... sorry.
Flipping me off.
Sorry. Meteora, Hybrid Theory. Fuck. I can imagine the art style. I can't remember the fucking album name because I don't care about album names. I like the songs. And I can barely keep all the song titles in my head. But, like, yeah, people are getting upset because the fucking album has a rainbow in it and everyone's like, oh, Pink Floyd's pro-LGBT, or I'm not gonna listen to this woke bullshit, or the liberals struck again.
But there also was a person who had commented, I saw, that it was like, Pink Floyd would be the kind of band to do something like that, though. Like, they'd be chill. They're pretty open. They're not... But the thing is, that's not what that's not... If it was intentional, wasn't intentional for that representation.
Yeah.
It was for the fucking album that's 50 years old.
Which is literally just a light... The album cover was just a triangle prism with light shining through it.
And a rainbow on the other side.
Because that's, you know, how light spectrum works. And these people are losing their shit. They're fucking stupid. That's what the fuck it is.
Yeah. Jesus. They're all the right-wing nuts. Tell me they're not.
No, I was just... Don't listen to any of the wing nuts that are on the right side of your car. They're crazy. That was what was going through my head. The other really big topic I wanted... Well, actually, was there anything else you want to add to that one?
No, I don't think so.
Because I figured that would be a short one to do. The other topic I wanted to bring up is what to do if you're questioning your sexual identity or gender identity. Because I don't think we've talked about that one. We've talked about coming out and what to do. We've talked about like how to explore pronouns a little bit. But I don't think we've really kind of had a deep conversation about what to do if you're questioning. So I wanted to hear your thoughts on that first.
Me first. Put me in the spotlight here.
Yeah, share with the class.
My first response is not good because this is what I did when I was a kid.
What?
You repress it. Don't do that. Don't do what I do. Don't do what I did. Don't repress it. Be like, okay, well, why am I like? Ask yourself like, why am I feeling like this?
Yeah.
See if you can kind of figure out where things are coming from.
And these tips are not like end all be all. They're just more of like things that kind of kickstart ideas and everything to help you explore.
Mm-hmm. Definitely educate. Like,
Oh yeah.
start Google. Google is your best friend. There's an incognito mode on your browser that if you're worried about other people finding things, go into incognito mode on Google Chrome. You can Google whatever you want, and it's not going to be on the computer afterwards, and you can just learn about things, learn about different words and different labels, and see if that kind of like matches up with how you're feeling. Or I know that that's what's helped me.
If you're like in college or you're in like a very accepting family and everything, you can find like an LGBT resource center or like a community center or whatever. Go there if you can, if it's safe to do so. And like learn, just sit down and interact. Honestly, that's what I did. I wasn't sure with like my gender stuff and everything. Actually, I think it was just more of my sexuality at first, and then I kind of just, as I spent time and everything there, I kind of figured out, yeah, this doesn't equal guy. So like those are great places for resources because they're going to have many books on the topics of like which we're going to want to explore in. There's many people you can talk to get their real world experiences. YouTube is a great place. There's a lot of like queer vloggers. Like C Dressa was one that I really liked when I was figuring out my gender stuff. Who they live out in New Zealand, and had a couple of vlogs of them traveling the New Zealand countryside, which is very pretty, by the way.
Nice.
But if you're concerned about that, definitely incognito mode is your friend. Do you have another one?
I guess like experiment while you're by yourself, like dressing differently.
Yeah.
Like learn about posture and like ways to carry yourself and like
body language.
Yeah, stuff like that. And like the mirror can be both your best friend and your worst enemy when you're trying to figure this kind of stuff out too.
Mm-hmm.
But
especially like gender identity stuff.
Yeah.
One that really helped me was an older queen who I met online, gave me quite a lot of good information and everything when I was like real younger. Don't know where she is, what her name was. Ow. Man, that strain's biting back with that one. But like it was an older drag queen and everything. And they really helped me. I don't even know if they're still alive at this point, not to be morbid, but it's been years. Kind of was like, how do you feel? Like, how do you feel? Imagine the scenario where you're with like this, like, I was questioning if I was bi at the time, way before I transitioned. So it was basically, how do you envision yourself with another guy? How does that make you feel? You know what I mean?
Mm.
And it was really nice. And like, was very fortunate for that. But also was not it was not anything grooming, to be fair. Like I just want to preface this because I was a lot younger and there's a lot older person. I didn't want people to make that connection. It was more like a forum kind of thing. But yeah, I was pretty much like, just think those thoughts, and then if you have any questions, you can hit me up. And I never did really after the tips they gave, which I can't even find that website anymore, so I can't even find where I was asking those questions.
I know Reddit has a lot of different communities and stuff where you can look if you're too afraid to like ask a question. Ask the question of Google and then put like :Reddit after it because it's probably on Reddit.
I mean, hell, r/egg IRL, r/LGBT, r/trans, r/trans, with like 20 A's, r/lesbian, or what the heck's the good one? There's a couple of lesbian ones. The non-turfy lesbian one. What is that one? Hold please.
I'm hungry.
You're hungry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That was random, but I'm
You're
hungry. I don't... Weed made me so hungry recently.
r/gender fluid, r/gender fluid IRL, r/actual lesbians. That's what it was.
There you go.
r/bisexual. There's so many different subreddits or anything. Avoid 4chan.
Yeah, no 4chan.
No 4chan. There used to be some decent ones in like the early aughts, but 4chan's become such a toxic place over the years. It's nobody that's actual LGBT is welcome there. They will make sure that you know that. So be careful on the sites you're also looking too, because like you want to make sure it's decently moderated, decently accepting, and everything.
I remember when I was questioning, I would take a bajillion of those stupid "Am I gay?" quiz.
Oh no!
Oh God,
Don't do
no.
those. Like those BuzzFeed quiz, like answer these 10 questions and find out how gay you are.
Or here's 60 questions rating on a scale of not likely to likely, and then the person who made this will average it out, and somehow their calculation comes out to figure out how gay you are.
Mm-hmm.
Something.
Also figure out clothes. I mean, that's always a good thing to do, especially if you're questioning your gender. Like, imagine how you dressing a certain way would look for you and how you feel about that. One thing that my first therapist helped me with gender stuff was if she had a magic wand and could just give me what I would look perfect body any way I want, and everyone would always see me this way, and I've been like this way forever. What would that body look like? And that tells you a lot about your first off the bat. Shorten that to like 2 words for some reason, but like right off the bat, that tells you a lot about kind of your identity right there. Well, it doesn't tell you everything. It kind of narrows it down for you. For me at the time, told me I was trans femme, but I thought I was non-binary. And as I grew and learned more about myself, I learned I'm a trans woman, and that's fine. Also, identities change. Don't think that just because you say you're this point at one point now, that you have to be that way forever. That totally changes, and it's valid. Doesn't invalidate what you were before, and doesn't invalidate what you identify as now. Do you have another one?
I was just thinking, if you could go to clothing stores, you could try on, you were talking about clothes, try on clothes. That way you don't have to buy them, but you could try them on, see how you feel in them a little bit, maybe take some pictures or something, and look at them and see how that makes you feel. Just again assessing, your feelings against what you think's going on, what you're questioning, and maybe can help guide you along the way too.
But also be safe with exploring stuff.
Absolutely.
Too, because there's some areas that aren't safe, especially in certain states. So be safe, please. First and foremost, we want to say that. Heck, don't even have to if it's not safe for you to go out, do a pit crew. Do a pit crew where it has pretty much basically a whole spectrum, and it can be pretty androgynous. See how you would make a cartoon version of yourself that's more feminine, more masculine, more androgynous, and see how that makes you feel, thinking basically, oh, this is just a cartoon me,
I mean, video games, you do that too. If it has a really good creator, I'm gonna say creature creator. Character creator.
Creature creator.
You tell what kind of where my gender lies. Creature. Yes, that is me.
Trying to think what else be really good. Books. Not even things that are explaining LGBT, but there's really good manga out there. Just be careful, because some of it does kind of fetishize some relationships, specifically yaoi or boy love comics. But there are some that talk about being LGBT and explaining stories, and basically just slices of life with an LGBT view on it. Webcomics do that a lot too. Some of them are kind of cringe, not gonna lie. But I'm sorry, Alex is trying to like turn their pen on, I'm guessing.
I'm trying to lower the wattage without clicking and hearing it in the microphone. So I just kind of tucked it under my blanket over here. I was trying to be stealthy and that didn't work.
But it was distracting
I'm
me.
sorry.
And I'm just like, "Buh?"
You're just like, I'm paying attention to what you're doing.
But yeah, like stories can be really good. And just a lot of it has to come down of what you're comfortable with, B, what's gonna be safe for you to explore, and C, don't rush it. You don't have to have the answer right away. You can be questioning for years, and that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But make sure that like we said when we did the coming out the coming out episode, make sure you're doing it in a safe way that it's not gonna that no one's going to hurt you in the end. Man, I'm trying to think of other trying to figure stuff out tips.
The Sims is really good for that.
Oh, The Sims,
especially now with their updated pronouns and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Sims is really good for that. Animal Crossing refers to you with gender neutral pronouns. That's how that game helped me figure out my stuff.
Yeah,
I love that game. Drawing. If you draw, you can draw yourself. How you see yourself.
Yeah.
Like you were saying.
It was like the pit crew thing, yeah. One tip we said in a previous episode, but I'm going to bring up, if you're questioning your gender stuff and you want to try a different name, Starbucks is always really good for that.
Just give them a different name.
Even though Starbucks kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But like any place where like they ask you your name.
Yeah, like put a name on the order.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to think what else would be really good if you're questioning. And I am drawing a blank. I mean, we did spend like a good 17 minutes talking about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you guys have any questions about that, do not hesitate to like comment, send us an email, hit us up on our social media pages. Like definitely, like if you were wondering about stuff, when we can spread tips and everything.
Absolutely. Since we are in the community ourselves.
But yeah, definitely, I feel like social media has been a big thing of it too. Watch TikToks, honestly. There's a lot of LGBT TikToks that are like explain and teach stuff. Like you learned a lot from TikTok.
I have learned a lot from TikTok. Oh my god, the voice filter things are cool. There's just a deep voice filter.
Yeah.
Oh my, yeah. I've also learned a lot about like if you want to transition. There are a lot of doctors. There's one that I would love to go see him. Like he's in Washington State to do my top surgery because he does like some really. I've seen all of his stuff. Like his patients' chests look really nice. He does like different he does different sorts of other plastic surgeries and stuff too. But he's awesome and he teaches a shit ton about everything. If you want to try like doing stuff with your voice and you can do it properly, there are some voice trainers and stuff on TikTok as well.
And YouTube.
To help you with your voice stuff. If that's something you wanted to like play around with.
The internet's an awesome thing and a dangerous thing at the same time.
Double-edged sword. All the time.
I really can't think of anything else right now.
All I can think about is food.
Yeah, food.
Food.
Can I talk about? I don't think I talked about it on the last episode. Can I talk about my article?
Yeah.
Did I talk about it on the last episode?
I don't know. I can't remember.
I can't remember either. I'm gonna look at when I published it. But I published an article not too long ago on medium.com and nope, I published it 3 days ago. So I didn't talk about it yet.
Okay.
But I published an article on Medium talking about how Pennsylvania's medical program is basically a recreational program with a medical mask on top of it. And it's basically just to keep the MSOs in power as part of like the whole issue and everything. But I mean, I mean, hell, like the Saavy fucking bag. You telling me a medical market is gonna give these bags out? It's basically like a dealer bag.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a
like, here,
Ziploc.
it's a Ziploc fucking bag.
There's no way, like, you're not gonna have like terpenes or anything like get lost over time, or the flour's gonna dry out like crazy sitting in this thing.
Right?
And while it does make it easier for patients to get the product, like there's no way that's a medical thing. You know what I mean?
That seems also, I don't know, the DOH has been very lenient recently, which makes me think we're going to go wreck here very soon.
Yeah.
The DOH has been very lenient and, sorry, well, we'll just figure it out. Or
it's
this is something that wasn't allowed prior, and now it's like allowed back into the program, and it's been fucking weird.
It's either the DOH is being lenient because they see signs that we're going wreck, or they're getting money, they're getting kickbacks to allow these companies to basically go against regulations.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fucking what I hate most about medical only states is 9 times out of 10, it's all controlled by MSOs. There's no mom and pop company out there, and when there is, it gets bought up real fast.
Yeah.
And that's sad, you know?
It is very sad.
Oh, I did want to bring up one thing.
What's that?
There's a bunch of anti-trans legislation coming out. Go and support where you can in these states. Speak up against them and everything. But most of them are not going to pass.
Yeah.
It's political theater.
You're right.
Honestly, yeah. It's just making my throat's dry. Oh, I wanted to talk about, we got like 5 minutes left.
Yeah.
Last week I forgot about The Guardian released an article saying, stop saying queer. Stop doing my pointing thing. And I wanted to discuss why it's okay to say queer.
My first reaction is, fuck you. That's how I identify. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, so their whole article is saying, like, oh, it's a generational thing. We found this one 65-year-old gay man
who was offended by it,
who says, don't say queer, that's a slur. Dude, do you realize I was getting called gay, the F slur, and queer all at the same time? There's people I know that are older than you, that are like in their 70s, that identify as queer.
Yeah.
Literally, at the Stonewall riots back in 1967, right? What, I can't remember the year now. It's too late in the evening. I'm not gonna do math. Anyway, during the Stonewall riots, right?
Yes.
In the late 60s, there was literally signs even before then with like marches and everything saying the queer liberation. It wasn't. We reclaimed it. It's like Dykes on Bikes. They reclaimed it.
Yeah.
It's literally an identity. I got yelled at from a job because I said, let me be queer. Or like, let me be perfectly queer. And the boss was like, oh, don't wear that. That's inappropriate. And I'm thinking, oh, great, because I'm gay.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to argue about it. And then he said, don't wear my pronoun pen. And I said, no, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. That's fucking...
Yeah, right?
Fucking fucked. That's fucked.
But like, that's the thing, is like everyone thinks queer is still a slur. It's not, and it hasn't been for a very long time. Well, it can be used in a derogatory manner.
Yeah.
Just like non-slurs that are racially charged.
Mm-hmm.
Like boy, for example. I don't know if you know that one. That's more of a Southern thing.
No, I don't know that one.
Or like the you people thing.
Oh.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like you people is not exactly racially charged, but the way you say it, to who you say it, and the manner you say it, all can make it racially charged.
Exactly.
Just the same thing with when any minority group that's being oppressed, the words you say aren't always slurs, but the manner you say it is very oppressive. and it's the context and everything to it. You identify as queer.
Yes.
And I love that about you. And that's, awesome, right?
Yeah.
You're queer, you're here, you're empowered. I love that. But if someone came out to basically, looked at you and was like, you effing queer,
I'm like, excuse me, the fuck you say?
Yeah, like.
Are you part of the LGBTQIA plus community? If they said no, I'm like, then the fuck are you saying that to me for?
And I didn't want to say it actually because I didn't want to accidentally trigger anybody.
Yeah.
On the other end, but like, they were basically like saying like, and then or like going to like,
yeah,
with aggression and everything. Then it's gonna be kind of charged, right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing that like I think a lot of people aren't getting, but also. The Guardian fucking sucks, along with the New York Times, because they share articles that are basically copy and paste from the gay panic in the late 90s, early 2000s, where like, oh, gay men and lesbian women are basically going to like take over, and they are not fit to be parents. Why do they want to be parents? We shouldn't let them get married because the world's going to end, and like horses are going to eat each other. Gay marriage has been around for what? Almost 10 years now?
Mm-hmm.
All the Amish's horses are still there. They're not eating each other. Like, so they're transferring that same political theater and replacing the word with gay or lesbian with transgender and non-binary people.
Mm-hmm. Your child wants your attention.
I know. I'm petting him, but like, and that's the thing that's kind of irking me lately,
Yeah, no, I get that.
Is there anything you want to add before we wrap up the episode and I have to feed the cats?
I don't think so. Is that what his thing is? Is that what his problem is? What time is it?
Oh, he's got 2 hours before dinner.
No, he just
wants attention. All right, I'll put you in my lap, buddy. You want to help us send off the episode? Okay. So once again, my name is Rayven. I use she, her pronouns. Ow, his claws digging to me. Ow, bear.
I use they, them pronouns.
And I'm bear, and I'm a cat. Cat's claws hurt. And we'll see you all in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye. Rayven here. I just wanted to make a little ad for our Patreon that we started. First and foremost, all the funds generated with this Patreon is going to go directly back into the podcast, whether that's better equipment so we can make better sounding episodes, give you guys really cool stuff like stickers, pictures, nice little trinkets from us, or be able to travel to places where there is legal weed or there's certain LGBT communities that we want to interact with and talk to, and potentially have some really cool guests come on the show. Now, right now our Patreon is bare bones, and I do apologize with that, but we hope to make it a little better as time goes on. Right now we have 3 tiers: flower, vape cartridges, and concentrates. Flower is $3 per month. Vapes is $6 per month, and concentrates is $9 per month. With flower, you get access to our Discord, the Scuttle Zone, a private Discord that we have for you guys to kind of interact with each other and potentially interact with us. We have things for like different aspects of the cannabis community and LGBT community where you guys can talk to and kind of just interact with each other and learn from each other, and learn with us. But you also get early access to these episodes. You get a day or two, basically immediately after I'm done editing the episode, I am putting it on the Patreon so you guys can listen to it early. With vape, you have everything from the flower, but you also have access to the private chat room in the Discord server for one-on-one discussions and questions for us. You'll have the ability to basically be, hey, I have a question about this certain thing, and we'll answer it at the end of every episode. We won't get to everyone all at the same time, obviously, but we'll spread it out through the month and be able to get to as many questions as we can. And then with the concentrates, you get everything from flower and vape, but you also get behind the scenes looks at what we do here. I'll show like what I'm editing and like maybe little sound files or like little clips of what we're working on. Our show notes, so you get to see that early, potentially, knowing what topics we're going to be talking about on this next episode. Pictures of stuff in and outside of the recording stuff, like things like cannabis festivals. We'll take pictures and post some of them online, but with the behind the scenes access, you get to see all of that. Basically, all the dumb faces we make at each other, all the cool stuff that we see, and all the cute things that we find. It's my hope with this Patreon that we'll be able to go far and wide and hopefully be able to see some of you guys or have some live shows in the future where you guys can come and interact with us. And obviously no pressure. I just want to make sure that you guys are aware of this, and first and foremost, take care of you guys yourselves. If you don't have money to support it, or if something happens, you have to stop, we totally understand. Thanks.